Well, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, whatever your current life situation is. Hello, YouTube. This is Jeffrey Kite back again with another episode of Kite's Curiosities. This video, I'm going to show off some of my through the mail autograph requests. As you know, I've been away for a while, hadn't made any videos, but I've been getting my mail. I've been opening up these bad boys. I didn't want to wait and have a big reveal. I opened them up and set them aside. Like, I'll get to the video later. I've got a lot of great stuff. I mean, some good stuff. We're talking Hall of Famers, all-time greats, and some, interesting characters, good teammates, and good role players from various sports and teams that have been in our nation's history. I'll be showcasing here. I don't even know what I just said there, but anyway, I've done a little bit better this time. I've actually kept notes. I've made notes on the people that I've sent out on in an effort to try to make the videos a little better and more informative and stuff, and I'm not fumbling over my words and like, was it this year? Was it that year? Okay. But anyway, so let's get on with it here, okay? This first one came to me out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Greensboro, North Carolina. I got it somewhere around May. It was late May, I think. I know it was like a couple weeks ago. So, and it is from none other than Mr. Brad Keselowski. Look at that. Signed it, beautiful gold ink right there. He sent me that one, or he signed that one, and then he signed it. I'm excited about this one. Look at that. That's a relic card. So now I have a relic autograph of Mr. Brad Keselowski. This relic here, I felt of it. It's not a piece of tire. It's not a piece of car. It's one of the covers or filters from one of the engine parts up in the very front. I can't remember exactly where that piece comes from. I wished they would do better and put on the back, you received a relic of, this is, and tell me what the relic is, and tell us what the relics are. Sometimes you can tell if it's a fire suit, a tire, a piece of car, sheet metal. But this, it's very smooth. So it's not a seat or anything. It's not part of a suit. But anyway, it's one of those filter covers there in the front of the car. But old Brad here, I'm gonna hold him up like this. Brad's a great race car driver, great guy. He's made this year he got to 500 Cup starts. So that's a huge accomplishment. He's got 35 career wins. This year, he's not doing too bad. He's had 6 top 10 finishes, and he's right now in 11th place in the point standings. These cards that he autographed for me are from when he was with Team Penske, and he drove the number 2 Miller Genuine Draft car. And this year, or starting last year, and then this year, he drives for Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, RFK, team owned by Jack Roush, team owned by the Fenway, I think it's called Fenway Sports Group or something like that. That's the team, that's the big sports group that owns the Boston Red Sox, Liverpool FC over in Premier League in England of soccer, and they own some, Pittsburgh Penguins. They own them. So very happy to have this back. He's a good driver. 2010 2010 nationwide champion, 2012 Cup Series champion. He's the second of only 6 NASCAR drivers to win a championship in both Cup and the Xfinity or Nationwide Busch Series, which is the series just below Cup Series. So very happy to have that. He was most popular driver back in 2008, 2009, 2010. So happy to have old bad Brad Keselowski back. All right, this next one, no mystery who this came from. I got this, it's postmarked May 11th out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and it is Mr. See if you can get that to focus. Paul Flatley. There's your free address, folks. Mr. Paul Flatley. Mr. Paul Flatley. And y'all saw this card. This was the card that I picked up from the video out of my Orlando Sports Cards haul. Oh, that turned out good. It got a little wet because it was raining that day when it came to me. You can see a little bit of water damage on the bottom, but I don't care. He signed it beautifully. He signed it gorgeous. Look at that. He's getting up there in age, and signature's getting kind of shaky, but very happy to get Mr. Paul Flatley back. Paul Flatley, he was a wide receiver in the NFL from 1963 to 1970. Played for the Vikings 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. His first 5 years, 63 to 67. And in 1963, he was the unanimous National Football League Rookie of the Year selection. Had 51 catches for 867 yards and 4 touchdowns that year. It's a pretty good rookie year. He went to the Pro Bowl in 66. And 1969, he came to the Falcons in 68. And in 1969, he led the Falcons in all receiving categories. He had 45 catches, 834 yards, good for an 18.5 yards per catch average, and scored 6 touchdowns, had 6 touchdown receptions that year. And there was a game against the San Francisco 49ers that he had in 1965 when he was with the Vikings. This guy had 7 catches, 202 yards receiving, and 2 touchdowns in a 42-41 Vikings win. In that era, it was 3 yards in a cloud of dust. They did a lot of running, and for him to have that kind of that big of a game in that era, that says something. So. For his career, 306 catches, 4,905 yards, 24 touchdowns. An incredible receiver. One of the all-time greats, in my opinion, Mr. Paul Flatley. Very happy to have that one back. And then now, let's see, is that it? Yep. Now the last one. Came to me early in May. Postmarked May the 4th, coming out of Mobile, Alabama. That is from none other than Mr. Scott Hunter. This is another card that I got from my haul at the Orlando Sports Cards. Scott Hunter, he was a really good college quarterback. He played for the University of Alabama, and in 1969, he led the SEC in passing, and he became the first Alabama quarterback to pass for 400 yards in a game, and I believe he did that against Auburn. Got drafted by the Packers, and in 1972, he earned his way into the role of full-time starting quarterback, and he had a great season that year. Passed for 1,252 yards, 6 touchdown passes, and he led the led the Packers to the 1972 NFC Central Division Championship. Things kind of went south for him after that. 73 wasn't a really good year. Got traded to the Bills in 74. Didn't even play in 75. And in 1976, the Falcons took a chance on him. And to me, that's when the legend of Scott Hunter began. I called him, in my letter to him, I called him Captain Comeback for the 1976 Falcons. Now, the 1976 Falcons were an absolutely dreadful team. They were awful. They finished the year 4-10. But of those 10 losses, 4 of them were by 10 points or less. So, I mean, they conceivably could have been 8-6, could have been a pretty respectable team, but they had a hard time stopping people sometimes, and they had a hard time scoring points. But, Scott, of those 4 victories that the Falcons had, Scott led fourth quarter comebacks in 3 of those games. And here's the details about them. It was Halloween night of the 76th season. They was playing the Saints, and they were trailing in the fourth quarter 20-14. And Scott come in the game, late in the game, and led the team to a 21-20 lead, and then eventually they won that game 23-20. 2 weeks later, against the 49ers, same situation again. Fourth quarter, trailing 49ers. It was 10-7 this time. And he came in that game, and he threw 2 touchdown passes to Alfred Jenkins to take a 21-10 lead, and they eventually won that game 21-16. Then, in week 11, again, trailing in the fourth quarter, 10-0 to a very good Dallas Cowboys team. He led 3 scoring drives in the fourth quarter. And the last scoring drive was the game-winning 1-yard touchdown run that he had. And, I mean, it was a thrilling 17-10 victory over the vaunted Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the spotlight never got too big for Scott, but, you know, just, I don't know, just inconsistent play, I guess, or just didn't get much of a chance. Could have been a system issue, but he never quite had the career that that early success in college predicted that he was going to have. But still, love having this man back. I always wanted Scott Hunter. He was an okay guy. He was an okay guy and a good quarterback. So, well, there you have it. As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Till next time, y'all take care. Now, have a good one. Bye.